What's up, guys? NepentheZ here, and welcome to our Team of the Year tier list. We already did a Team of the Year vote over on the main channel where we voted for the 11 that I want to be Team of the Year. But as mentioned in that video, there are more than 11 deserving players for Team of the Year. So what we've got here is all 100 Team of the Year nominees, and we are going to rank them from deserving a Team of the Year spot to an honorable mention, to an average player, to a lucky to be nominated player, to a why are you there player. And it's going to be a mess. If we thought the Team of the Year was contentious, this is definitely going to rile some people up the wrong way. But rest assured, I'm not here to make enemies. I'm just giving my opinion, which is all we can do. So let's begin. And so I'm just going to start in the order that Josh has put them into the tier maker, and it's going to be Messi. And I don't even think we need to debate. Messi deserves to be in Team of the Year. Won the World Cup, won the league with PSG, and is just generally amazing. Then we've got Thiago Silva. Now, Thiago Silva is most certainly a curious one, because although Chelsea are underperforming and Brazil didn't go as far as I thought that they would have gone, Thiago Silva has been phenomenal. I don't think he necessarily deserves a Team of the Year spot, but I definitely think he's an honourable mention. If there was like a category between honourable mention and Team of the Year, I'd probably put Thiago Silva in there. Karim Benzema, no doubt about it, won the Champions League, won the Ballon d'Or, and so for that reason alone, and the fact that he's just had an outrageous year, he deserves fully to be in Team of the Year. Hugo Lloris, you know what? This isn't a bias in any way. I'm an Arsenal fan, but Hugo Lloris is average. Even at the World Cup, Hugo Lloris was average. He just wasn't good. He's not been good for Spurs. He is getting older, a lot older now, you know, by his mid-30s now. And I think you can kind of see/sense the decline of Lloris. Luka Modric, Team of the Year. Definitely. The man carried Croatia on his back, along with some of the defenders as well, actually, in the World Cup, all the way through to the semi-finals. He performed unbelievably well for Real Madrid, won the Champions League, won the league. You're going to see why we had to do a tier list, because there are going to be I'm going to guess, I reckon, about 20 players that deserve a Team of the Year. We've got Olivier Giroud, who I think deserves an honourable mention. He's, for his age again, specifically, he has been a dominant force for AC Milan, won the league with AC Milan, got into the French national team as a starter because Benzema was injured, and did reasonably well for France as well in the World Cup. Ivan Perisic, oh, this looks bad, doesn't it? Do you know what? I honestly think lucky to be nominated. Ivan Perisic is just not an outstanding football player anymore. He just wasn't notable at the World Cup, at least not from the games that I remember. Like, I watched almost all of the World Cup. I don't remember Perisic being any certain type of influence. I think he spent a lot of time injured at Spurs, and then at Inter, he had that little spate of goals and assists right at the end of the season. Didn't get in the Croatian national team for the Nations League. Then went to Spurs, and he's been reasonable with assists, not so good with goals. Here's one thing that has to be noted, right? Not everybody can watch every game of football in the world. So for everyone that's watching this video, there's going to be players here that you haven't seen games of, that I haven't seen games of, and then there's going to be players that you have seen a lot of games of, right? For the games that you've seen, you can form a much better understanding of whether a player deserves to be somewhere or not. For the games that you haven't, you can only go based on the stats and the facts that are presented to you. I would almost say, why are you there? Toni Kroos, Team of the Year. Toni Kroos deserves the Team of the Year. Champions League, no way. My stream, see, the thing is, right, Germany washed, he didn't play a lot. But okay, we've got to get an understanding though, right? When I make an inclusion here based on a World Cup performance, and chat says you can't do that, World Cup was only there for a month, this is a season-long thing, right? And then people say, oh, you can't include him, had an average World Cup. Right? You can't have it both ways. He's retired from Germany. He didn't even play in the World Cup. He won the Champions League. And he won the league. And he is amazing for Real Madrid. And I do watch a fair old amount of Real Madrid. And especially did watch that Champions League run. He doesn't miss games unless he gets sent off. He puts in big performances, and he is just a big player. He has to be in Team of the Year. If you think that's an L, you're an L. Wozok Szczesny. I'm going to go... See, this is one of those ones. I don't watch Juventus a lot at all. Since Ronaldo left Juve, I couldn't care. I couldn't care less. Right? I don't even know. I honestly don't even know. I would put him in average because Juve have been average. And I don't remember a single thing at the World Cup for Szczesny. Not saying he didn't do anything or he did do anything. I just don't remember it. I think Szczesny's got to be an average. Kieran Trippier. Now, this is a tough one, right? This isn't a tough one. This is an easy one for me. Kieran Trippier deserves to be in Team of the Year. Right? And a lot of people don't get why. And before I started getting into so rare or fantasy sports, right? Before I started getting into fantasy sports, I would never have put Kieran Trippier into Team of the Year. Now that I'm interested in like fantasy sports and especially football related fantasy sports, not FPL necessarily, but probably even in FPL, he is probably one of the top scorers in FPL. And there's a reason for that. No, right guys, no. Please pay attention. This is not the Team of the Year vote. This is the Team of the Year tier maker. There will be more than 11 Team of the Years because it's based on the tier that they deserve to be in, not necessarily the tier that they get into. Okay? He's the number 2. So he is the number 2 ranked player in the Premier League. Kieran Trippier, since I've been interested in fantasy sports and learning a lot more about it, I reckon I'd actually slay FPL now. I'd probably win it. You can just see how good he is and for the reasons that he's good. He was good at Atletico Madrid. He was good for England when he played for England. And he's been great for Newcastle, helping them into a Champions League spot and only one loss in the Premier League up until now. He deserves to be there. Lewandowski, he deserves to be there. Great at Bayern. Decent for Poland. Scored at the World Cup. Has been great for Barcelona, who are really turning it around this season and top of the league. And I think they've only conceded 6 goals in 16 games. Not that he's obviously a reason for that, but his goal scoring feats are still utterly phenomenal. And he deserves to be in Team of the Year. He won't be a Team of the Year, but he deserves to be in Team of the Year. Kevin Trapp, the Europa League, right? Maybe average for Trapp because, yeah, they won the Europa League. But obviously, difficult for him to get into the national team. Very underwhelming in the World Cup. I mean, didn't play, to be fair. Parejo, maybe in 2021, he would have had a bit of a better shout. I actually think he's like, Villarreal have been poor of late. I think Parejo's lucky to be nominated. Villarreal have been poor of late, and Parejo has not been what he used to be. He is obviously getting a little bit older now. What's he, 34? Villarreal are underperforming, and he's underperformed massively this year. For me, lucky to be nominated. Neymar deserves to be in Team of the Year. I don't think anyone could dispute that. Unbelievable amount of goal contributions for PSG. Unbelievable for Brazil in the games that he played during the World Cup. He 100% deserves to be there. Thibaut Courtois, 100% deserves to be there. This is one of the big ones, right? Because the other guy that we've got, Martinez, deserves to be there. So I voted for Martinez. I can see why people vote for Courtois. Won the Champions League, won the league, was immense. I mean, listen, that Champions League final performance might be one of the standout goalkeeping performances of all time, right? However, Emi Martinez was an integral factor as to why Argentina won the World Cup. Saves in 2 penalty shootouts, got the Golden Glove, and made the most decisive save in World Cup history in the 120th minute that would have had France winning the World Cup otherwise. If, like, one game doesn't deserve it, but Emi Martinez has also been a good goalkeeper, right? And if there is ever a game that does deserve it, it is the World Cup final. If there is ever a game that you can have the game of your life to deserve being as part of the best 11, it is the World Cup final. Recency bias. Okay, so talk to me about Benzema and my recency bias with Benzema. Talk to me about Kroos and my recency bias with Kroos. or my recency bias with Lewa and Neymar, who both didn't have amazing World Cups. Martinez deserves to be Team of the Year. Otamendi, honourable mention. He's been outstanding for Benfica, and he was good for Argentina in the World Cup as well. So that's where we're at so far. How many Team of the Years have we got already? 9. Mad. Ciro Immobile, average. I know his goal-scoring feats for Lazio, generally speaking, are very good, but this 2022 was not a good goal-scoring year for him by his standards. I think Lazio generally underperformed as well. I actually think, you know what, lucky to be nominated. There's so many better goal scorers out there than him, and I think he's in there because of heritage, right? Heritage. Iago Aspas, average. Honestly, about the only player that scores for Celta Vigo these days. But of course, you know, you don't see him in the Spain national team. Celta Vigo don't win anything. But man, he's a bagsman, right? If he was actually, even at his age now, if he was at a top team, he would be bagsman. And that's why I think he's average. De Bruyne deserves Team of the Year. For the last decade or so has been one of the best midfielders in world football. Maybe last like 6 years, 7 years for De Bruyne, but 100% deserves to be Team of the Year. Antoine Griezmann, I think, is honourable mention. And now this is where I think a bit of recency bias will come in for other people. I've actually seen Griezmann as Team of the Year in a lot of people's teams. Griezmann had a good World Cup, a very good World Cup. But for Atletico Madrid, he's been very hit and miss, especially at the start of the year. A lot of the time on the bench, actually, in the August, September area. Yeah, he had that contract clause where he couldn't play for more than 30 minutes a game, isn't it? So I don't think, like, just that alone is enough to take about Team of the Year. Ben Yedder, I'll be honest, I don't know anything about Ben Yedder. I don't think he's... I think he's average. I think there would be a little gap between average and honourable mention. Maybe it'd be a little bit closer to honourable mention, but not for me. Son, do you know what? In 2022, I'd probably go average. Now, listen, I know Son plays for Spurs. I absolutely love Heung-min Son. I absolutely love Heung-min Son. Golden Boot top scorer last season, but how many of those goals were scored in 2021 rather than 2022? All of them. Well, there you go. So all of his goals were scored in 2021. So yeah, average for him. Casemiro, Team of the Year. I think Casemiro is a weird one. I haven't seen him in too many people's teams. You can't really see him, or you stream can't see him under my face cam. Casemiro, great for Brazil. Insane for Real Madrid into winning the league and winning the Champions League, and has been unbelievable for Manchester United so far. I actually can't believe he left Real Madrid for Manchester United, and he's been amazing since he's been at Manchester United. He 100% deserves to be in Team of the Year. And I think we're already at 11 players in Team of the Year, which is why I wanted to do a Team of the Year tier list opposed to just a Team of the Year vote. Because I genuinely think there's probably close to about 20 players that deserve to be in Team of the Year. Berghaus, listen, I might get scolded for this. Odyssey, why are you there? Berghaus, why are you? Koulibaly, honourable mention. I actually think he could be in Team of the Year. He could. But again, I think because Chelsea won nothing, and his... When did... when was AFCON? Was that January? Right? Which is in 2022. And so there you go, right? That's why he's in honourable mention. Yeah, also, the end of last season, he wasn't even playing for Chelsea. It was the start of this season, right? Iragi, honestly, don't like... We talked about this on stream just beforehand, right? Not every person can watch every game, right? And of the games that you can't watch, you can only derive an opinion based on stats. And when I look at the stats of Biragi, the first thing I think about is he doesn't even get into the Italian national team, let alone the bench or the starting or as a sub. He just doesn't get into the team at all. And that speaks volumes because Italy are awful at the moment. Oh, there you go. He got one game and then never again. Oh, damn, that's bad. Fiorentina have, in general, been quite average. Where did they finish last season? Not that their position is necessarily you know, determining of him. But they're 9th this season, and they finished 7th last season, including conceding 51 goals in 38 games. Biragi, as far as a defender goes, didn't get many clean sheets or many goal contributions as a fullback. I honestly cannot understand for the life of me, why Biragi is here and why somebody like Alaba or Rudiger are not here. So yeah, Harry Kane is an honourable mention. You know, I like Harry Kane a lot. He missed that penalty in the World Cup that could have changed it all for England, but he was present at the World Cup. He was decent at the World Cup. Van Dijk, see, for me, team of the year. Van Dijk, for me, is still the best defender in the world. Yeah, he missed a little bit, a few games. Oh, that was for the Netherlands, actually, during June. But I don't think you can look past Van Dijk as still just one of the best defenders in the world. He just is. That's it. Marquinhos, also there. Also, like, maybe here. Maybe honourable mention for Marquinhos. I'm like, this is like Thiago Silva for me. Like, if there was a little gap between team of the year and honourable mention, because I think going from team of the year to honourable mention to average is like a big step, isn't it? I'll give Marquinhos honourable mention. Kostic. Hey, Kostic was very good for Frankfurt. I couldn't tell you how good he's been for Juve. Average. Mane, honourable mention. Mane was brilliant for Liverpool last season. In the back half of the season at the start of the year. Has been okay for Bayern. Obviously helped to win AFCON as well. As a standard comparative to like Koulibaly, he's just been better, hasn't he? Honestly, I wish I had another category, like almost team of the year, which I suppose honourable mention is, which I suppose is the issue I'm having with my own categories is the gap between honourable mention and average is vast, but the gap between team of the year and honourable mention isn't vast. I'll keep Mane an honourable mention. Mohamed Salah has to be in team of the year. Does he? Since Mane left, Salah's been atrocious for Liverpool, hasn't he? Again, like when we think about the first half of 2022, you would probably put Salah and Mane in team of the year. But it's not based on the first half of 2022. Salah does not deserve to be team of the year. He hasn't been good enough at the back end of 2022. Bono, honourable mention. Good in goal for his club. Very good at the World Cup. Not team of the year level. Rabiot. Average. He wasn't that great for France. He was only there because of France's midfield woes. Grimaldo, honourable mention. Interesting that did he get called up to the national team for the World Cup? Grimaldo is just an amazing player because I've actually watched Grimaldo play. I've watched so much Benfica over the last 3 months that Grimaldo is just a great player against Portuguese league sides, though, right? But if we then start segregating players' value based on the opponents that they play against, let's pop Neymar into lucky to be nominated. Let's pop Messi down into lucky to be nominated. Let's take Lewandowski down into lucky to be nominated. Let's take Benzema down into lucky to be nominated, right? Are we saying the standard of teams at the lower mid-table of the French and Spanish league are that much better than the standard of teams in the Portuguese league? In fact, isn't the Portuguese league now ranked 5th above the French league? I stand by my decision. I'm happy to debate, and I suppose again I think this is why Josh just messaged to suggest putting in that extra category, because Grimaldo has definitely been above average. However, it is fair to say that he's probably not a notch off of team of the year. But we're going to stick with the 5 categories that we've got, and we're going to bounce him down into average. Ederson, Wait, let me go with Joao Cancelo first, because Joao Cancelo deserves to be in Team of the Year. One of the best fullbacks in the world, no doubt about it. Edison's a weird one, man. Because Man City are just so dominant. Almost honourable mention. Grimaldo tier. Do you know what? I like the Grimaldo tier. It makes sense. People that watch the video will know. He goes in there. He goes in there. I say he probably goes in there as well. I think it is literally just better than average, isn't it? Because what these players are players that are better than average, but not good enough to be in honourable mentions. Easy top 3. Now that's what we like. We've got Griffo. Now, honestly, why are you there? I don't know. Sule. Sule's a good defender. I think Sule's average, right? Didn't win anything with Dortmund. Won the league with Bayern. I don't even know if he got called up to the German national team. He did. But that doesn't bode well for him because they got knocked out in a group with Costa Rica and Japan. So Bruno's difficult, right? I'm gonna start with him in easy top 3. Because he's been a bit weird first half of the year, hasn't he? I think he's definitely coming into his own back end of the year. Was very good for Portugal as well at the World Cup. I think that first half of the year just stops him from dropping into that honourable mention. Joshua Kimmich deserves to be in Team of the Year. I won't hear anything of it. The amount of people like, oh, what do you mean Kimmich? Do you know what people think about Kimmich? People think Kimmich is bad because he's got no pace on FIFA. Genuinely. All these FIFA nerds in my mentions on Twitter, they're like, no offense, but why have you put Kimmich there? Because he is one of the best players in the world. That's why. Okay, he's got like 52 pace on FIFA, so he's not good on FIFA. He is insane. Alisson. Probably deserves to be in Team of the Year, to be fair, doesn't he? I don't know, like, do we have, is it 3 goalkeepers? Yeah. Alisson's just quality, isn't he? He is just a phenomenal goalkeeper. Now, there might be a little bit of Premier League bias going on there. Because I obviously just watch Premier League a little bit more. But Alisson, he just is amazing as a goalkeeper. How many goalkeepers can score? Precisely, mate. Bayern Jan for honourable mention. He won the league with Milan. Quality goalkeeper and really good in FIFA. You know. Fofana. Now, this might be a hot take for me. Lucky to be nominated? I don't know. He's been good for Lens. I'm sticking with my guns. Lucky to be nominated. Brozovic, average. Very good player for Inter. Good player for Croatia as well. Maybe easy top 3 for Brozovic, actually. Inter a little bit bottlers, aren't they? Yeah, he had a good World Cup, Brozovic. I think that's better than average still. Fekir. Fekir, why are you there? Well, he didn't get called up to the French national team. In a year where they had monster amount of injuries, it probably was the easiest time for him to ever get called up to the French national team, and he didn't make it. He spent a lot of time out injured as well, to be fair. I think average for Fekir. Bernardo Silva. Oh, hold on. Martin Odegaard, Team of the Year. Bernardo Silva. Now, I just think Silva as well is just one of the best midfielders in the world. I think Bernardo Silva is like between easy top 3 and honourable mention. Do you know what? I probably would have him in the same vein as Bruno Fernandes. Milinkovic-Savic has been very good. But Lazio underperforming. Easy top 3 for Milinkovic-Savic. Amrabat. Great World Cup. I don't know anything about Amrabat. I think honourable mention is fair for Bernardo. Won the league. He did win the league. In which case, then, do we say Edison has to go up into honourable mention because he also won the league? Maybe add a tier of did not watch at all. That wouldn't be, like, too unfair, to be fair. I haven't got a clue. That's a great one. Would be quite a good tier. I just haven't watched enough of them to know. Amrabat. Listen, he would be one. Like, I watch him at the World Cup for sure. I think for Team of the Year, I think he's lucky to be nominated. Borja Iglesias, why are you there? Barella, quality. He's an average. He's good. Barella is good. Acuna, World Cup winner. I'm going to put Acuna into top 3. Marino, good player, but lucky to be nominated. Pellegrini, I also think good player, but lucky to be nominated. and another Italian. Upamecano, easy top 3. Got to a World Cup final. Like, see, I like the thing about Upamecano, right, is I like him a lot. I just think he is prone to too many errors to deserve honourable mention. Gabriel Jesus in Team of the Year. Ousmane Dembele. I mean, he's got his act together a little bit at the back end of the season, but I think he's been average in 2022. Martinez. Mate, Jesus Christ. He tried to single-handedly ruin Argentina's World Cup hopes, didn't he? Jesus Christ. Mbappe deserves to be in Team of the Year. Nah, Martinez, average. Mate, this average list is growing, isn't it? Rodri, honourable mention for Rodri. I can actually see probably a lot of people putting him in to Team of the Year. But for me, just not quite. Just not quite. Osimhen, average. He's a good scorer, is Osimhen. He's young, though. I think, again, no World Cup is like... Although the World Cup was only, 1 month, it's a World Cup, man. It's different. And Nkunku's been injured for so long. Oh, no, he's injured now. He hasn't been injured for so long at all. He's injured for so long now, isn't he? Like a month and a half, torn knee ligament. He missed the World Cup because of his injury. And that's pain. Because I think if he went to the World Cup, he'd be Team of the Year. I think Nkunku is honourable mention. Romero. So I've been told by editor Josh that he has to be in Team of the Year. So in he goes. Don't know about that. Don't know about that. Hernandez is definitely Team of the Year. No, I think Romero is honourable mention for me. Kamada. Now, like, this is why I need a category for, like, I haven't got a clue. I need a category for that. He was bang average at the World Cup. He's been good for Frankfurt. Another one, man, Frankfurt got some good players in there. I actually think Kamada's, like, on upper average there. Tomori, easy top 3. Tomori's been amazing. Like, it's painful because he has to go here because this is how we've judged other players in this regard because he didn't go to the World Cup. But we don't know how he didn't go to the World Cup because Sareth Southgate is just an idiot, right? Declan Rice, honourable mention. Amazing for West Ham, amazing for England. Alphonso Davies, easy top 3. Good when he plays, just injured a lot. Kobel, quality goalkeeper. I think top 3 for him. Now, see, the thing is, Davies, when Davies plays, he's just brilliant. Generous for Kobel. He makes a lot of good saves, though, for Dortmund. That's the thing, man. Dortmund face a lot of shots. Oh, he's been injured for so long. Who the hell was playing? Oh, it was that other kid, wasn't it? Not kid, necessarily. That Meyer guy. He's the guy I was thinking of that was making the good saves. Do you know what? Kobel's in between, lucky to be nominated and worry there because he missed so much of the season. Hakimi deserves to be in Team of the Year. Terrier. Ooh. I mean, he's been great. He's honestly honourable mention level. He didn't get, did he get? He didn't, did he? He didn't get up to the French national team. I don't know how, man. I think Terrier's honourable mention, man. That Stade Rennais team are doing bits, and he is a massive focus of that. Kolo Muani, another Frankfurt player. I think his World Cup performances puts him into top 3, above average. I don't know how, like, I'll be honest. Before the World Cup, I'd never heard of Kolo Muani. Nah, he was Garbo, man. He's average. Sorry. He's average. Yeah, he had a good World Cup final, but not for me. Yeah, I know he won the Europa League with Frankfurt, but actually, when you look at the Europa League final, well, he didn't win the Europa League. He was a nonce. Yeah. Foden, easy top 3. James, injuries, man. Injuries are killing him, bros. James is better than average. He deserves to be an easy top 3. But injuries have just killed him. Vinicius Jr. deserves to be in Team of the Year. Now we're getting to it, man. Right. Valverde deserves to be in Team of the Year. This Team of the Year is bigger than I thought. Haaland deserves to be in Team of the Year. Klaus lucky to be nominated. Got those Arsenal players down. Bremer. I've not watched any. Like, listen, as I said earlier, right? Since Ronaldo left Juve, I just haven't watched the Italian league. And one more. Oh, we got Saka. Saka definitely is honourable mention territory as well. Bremer, I think, is easy top 3. Ruben Diaz, I think, is honourable mention. Like, there is easy debate for Diaz to be team of the year. Apart from the injuries, again, he missed a lot of football last season. I don't know anything about Bremer, guys. I'm literally just going based off chat here. He didn't play, like, yeah. If Son is down, then Saka can't be that high. Saka is, like, if I gave you the option right now to pick between Saka and Son, forget who you support. Let's say you built a brand new team, right? Let's say you just built a brand new team and the world has offered you a ticket. And it's like, would you like Saka or Son for your team? You're taking Saka every single time. Eder Militao, I think honourable mention for him. Nah, I don't know. I think a lot of the Real Madrid players deserve to be up in there. I think honourable mention for Eder Militao. That's my first instinct. Tonali, I'm going to go easy top 3. Quality player. Obviously, been good for AC, but no international. Didn't Eder have a few games out, though? I think he had a few games injured or where he was just out. Yeah, he's missed a lot of football this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games. I'm sticking again with my guns. Jules Koundé, I think top 3. Tchouaméni, I'd say the same. I don't think I just don't think they're on that level yet, where they're like just a touch off of team of the year. Cody Gakpo top 3. Kulusevski, hasn't he been injured for months? Or again, like one of those players that's just been like missing. Yeah, he has missed so much football. Now, he is good when he plays. He has just missed way too much football. I'm going to put Kulusevski top 3. The thing with Tchouaméni, right, is the same with Camavinga as well, is that he doesn't get as many minutes as he possibly should because Real Madrid are just so heavy in that midfield. Bellingham goes in honourable mentions. Did I accidentally move Tchouaméni somewhere else? Oh, he's there, yeah. No, listen, man. When you're talking about players good enough to be considered team of the year, but just short, I don't think Tchouaméni is there yet. Getting down to the crux of it, though. Frimpong. Listen, I haven't watched much of Bayer Leverkusen. I know they were struggling at the start of the season. I don't even know if he played for the Netherlands, man. I think he's lucky to be nominated. I'll tell you what, man. I think Pedri, not honourable mention. I know a lot of people love Pedri, and I know he's got a bright future. But I think Pedri is a classic case of a player being thrust into the limelight too early. He's been like a starter for Barcelona since, what, 16 years old? I think he just needs to develop a lot more. I don't think Pedri, who also did miss a big portion of the year out of injury, I don't think Pedri is that notch off of team of the year. I just don't. And that's my decision, and that's why he's staying there. Vlahovic, honestly, I want to say average. He has been bang average for Juve. Look, oh my days. I might have something against Juve without even knowing it. I put 5 Juve players in the average tier. Have I got any in the above tiers? I haven't. That's mad, isn't it? You've been crowd. That's why. I mean, they have been. Darwin Nunez
you can't miss this.
Is easy top 3. I think if his start at Liverpool was a little bit better, he'd be maybe a little bit higher. Nunez lucky. No, see, there's this weird like online hate towards Darwin Nunez, and it's weird. You called him Larwin Lunez for like 2 months on stream. That's because of how he was performing for me in FIFA. Because I was streaming FIFA and playing with him in FIFA. Using him on FIFA. Like, don't get me wrong, he's missed some chances for Liverpool, some easy chances. But his 2022, he scored a lot of goals for Benfica. And he's done very well for Liverpool. The only thing he's missing is putting the ball in the back of the net as much as he probably should. And I think that will come. Gvardiol, I honestly think deserves to be up in honourable mention. Amazing for Croatia, amazing for Leipzig, and just a great player in general with a really bright future. Enzo Fernandez, also honourable mention. Oh, where did I drop him? Maybe it's a sign. Honourable mention for Enzo Fernandez. You know, winning the World Cup, like getting your way into that Argentina team, becoming a starter for them in a World Cup, and then winning Golden Boy. Can't say fairer than that. Joao Felix is a weird one because I don't think he's had that good of a season. He was injured a lot. He was subbed a lot. I'm sorry, but he's average. Rafael Leao, I think, is top 3. Rafael, like, maybe a little bit higher for Rafael Leao. I don't know. Maybe a little bit higher. Because he was good for Portugal and he's been great for AC Milan. You wonder why Portugal didn't use him more, man. That goal that he scored against Switzerland was just beautiful, wasn't it? And then last but not least is Diaby. And again, much like, who did I put in from Bayer Leverkusen before? Frimpong. Diaby is a good scorer. He's very good for Bayer Leverkusen. I think we'll put him in average. And that is it. So I've got the Why Are You There's, Berghaus, Biragi, Griffo, Borja Iglesias, and Doan. We've got the lucky to be nominated. Of course, just my opinion. Perisic, Parejo, Immobile, Fofana, Amrabat, Marino, Pellegrini, Kobel, Klaus, and Frimpong. Average, which doesn't determine the player in overall football relation, but more within their relation to being a team of the year. Lloris, Szczesny, Rabiot, Kostic, Trapp, Iago Aspas, Sule, Fekir, Barilla, Dembele, Osimhen, Martinez, Kamada, Mouani, Bremer, Vlahovic, Felix, and Diaby. Easy top 3. Grimaldo, Foden, James Son, Ben Yedder, Tonali, Kunde Edison, Bruno Fernandes, Tchouameni, Gakpo, Brozovic, SMS, Kulusevski, Pedri. I think when you look at this list here, Nunez, Upas, Tomori, Davies, and Acuna, I think you could like further like set this list aside of like there are some players that are on the precipice of being honourable mentions. I think if we look at Arsenal, I think Gabriel Jesus probably goes into easy top 3. I think Ødegaard is burdened by the same issues as a lot of the Italians. He's been exceptional for Arsenal, but not having that opportunity to go to the World Cup and not winning anything with Arsenal is pain. But Saka, I think, is honourable mention. Saka has been debatably England's best player and almost definitely Arsenal's best player. So team of the year, how many have I actually got here? 3, 6, 9, yeah, 21. I thought there'd be about 20, 21. And that is why I wanted to do a tier list, because I honestly think it's impossible to pick an 11 for team of the year. Now, you've got your dead certs. Messi is a dead cert for team of the year, and Mbappe is a dead cert for team of the year. I think Kimmich is a dead cert for team of the year. I think past that, you could debate it all. Anyway, that is my tier list. Maybe you agree with it. Maybe you disagree with it. Maybe you watch more of a player to have a better understanding of him than I do. Maybe you've watched less of some other players, so you feel that they don't deserve places in particular other areas. But that is my tier list for the 100 Team of the Year players. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.